join us. But first, a few comments on an unusual development that occurred today in Ferguson, Missouri, a community that is struggling to slowly awaken from the national nightmare of a police shooting of a young man and the outrage of what amounts to political exploitation of the incident by everyone from the president to the state's governor to Reverend Al Sharpton, and some in the national media as well. The fact is, more than 2 weeks and 3 autopsies later, we, the public, don't know whether the evidence suggests that Michael Brown attacked a policeman, that the policeman fired in self-defense, or whether Michael Brown was surrendering to a policeman who overreacted and shot him, or some other possibility not publicly considered. As of right now, a Missouri grand jury is hearing evidence in the case, and a highly unusual parallel federal investigation is also underway. The president sent Attorney General Holder to Ferguson, but it's unclear what he accomplished in so doing, except to appear to be putting his thumb, as he put it, or perhaps his entire right hand on the scales. The president and his attorney general were in fact willing to deepen the racial divide in Ferguson rather than take the opportunity, to seize the opportunity to narrow that divide with true leadership, compassion for a community and for the entire country, in which so many were as willing as the president to assume that Officer Darren Wilson shot and killed Michael Brown because Wilson is white and Brown was black. One of those is the Reverend Al Sharpton. Sharpton, a TV host and an activist, now serving as the president's liaison to the community of Ferguson. And Sharpton was a controversial choice as speaker to eulogize the 18-year-old Brown. But Sharpton criticized police and some police tactics, and he criticized education policies as he was expected to do. But then he did something unexpected today, an unusual development. He spoke about personal responsibility without calling it such. He talked about dignity and independence without calling it such, and of not accepting violence as part of the black urban culture without calling it such.
What does God require? We got to be straight up in our community too. We had to be outraged at a 9-year-old girl killed in Chicago. We had to be outraged by our disrespect for each other, our disregard for each other, our killing and shooting and running around gun-toting each other, so that they're justifying trying to come at us because some of us act like the definition of blackness is how low you could go. Wow. Blackness has never been about being a gangster or a thug. Blackness was, no matter how low we was pushed down, we rose up anyhow.
Al Sharpton rose up today. In my opinion, those few words were the most important words spoken by any of those who've made their way to Ferguson in the past 2 weeks. And I hope the entire country heard Al Sharpton's words.